top 10 worst Gen 7 Pokemon. Wow, nice clickbait, SilokHawk.
Well, I mean, you clicked on the video, didn't you?
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
The video you're about to watch is Patreon supported by people such as Abby Knutson, Robbie Batter, Jane Bass, and Anthony Combs. Thank you. So if you somehow didn't already know this, Pokemon Sun and Moon recently came out, and I gotta say, they're pretty damn good. I like a lot of the minor gameplay changes they added, such as the game telling you what buffs or debuffs are currently affecting you, and there's a lot of cool new moves. Needless to say, the region is fantastic. I might have a bit of a bias since Hawaii is my birthplace, but hey, Sun and Moon definitely presents the most pleasant world we've seen so far. But then we get to some of the new Pokemon. And oh god, did they drop the ball on this one. Whether you like the direction they took the designs or not, there's no questioning that objectively, these are some of the dumbest motherfuckers we've seen thus far.
Psylocke, you dumb idiot, moron, face. That's completely subjective.
Then how do you explain all these memes? There's so many memes! Nearly every Pokemon from Sun and Moon is its own meme. But fine, I'll admit, I'm almost glad these designs exist for the memes alone. I can only wonder if that was an intentional move by Game Freak as a publicity stunt. If you're new to my channel, first of all, thanks for checking the video out. But I seem to be infamous for attracting an irrational crowd of kids that like to tell me off because my opinion is wrong and I'm just a stupid butt. So while this may seem needless to most people, I do feel obligated to say this list is based on my opinions. I mean, no shit, right? It is a top 10 after all. And it's alright if you disagree with me or this list. Just be reasonable about your 3-paragraph rebuttal you're gonna write in the comments. And beyond that, I do want to iterate these entries are based on designs and designs only. So if I end up putting something on this list as a super dark Pokédex entry or whatever the heck, note that I'm only focusing on the appearances of these guys. Cause you know, I'm super shallow or whatever. Well, let's cut the bullcrap and count down what you came here to see. Hey, I'm SilokHawk, and this is the top 10 worst Gen 7 Pokemon.
Psylocke,
Yeah?
are you sure you aren't just making this video to piss people off? Are you sure?
No, I seriously just thought this would be a fun video to make.
Yeah, well then how do you explain that?
Look, I can explain. Yeah, real subtle way to start the countdown, right? But hey, these are the first Gen 7 Pokemon that we saw, so I only think it's fair to start the list off of them. I do want to say, none of these, minus one of them I'll cover in a second, are really that horrible, but the inconsistency is definitely there. For the sake of not jumping back and forth, I'm just going to give my quick thoughts on the 3 starter lines and their subsequent forms right now. First off, we got Rowlet. And yeah, sorry to trigger the Litten and Popplio fanboys, but I do like Rowlet's first form the most. Hashtag Team Rowlet. My only problem is despite thinking the design looks solid enough, does this look like a starter to you? It certainly doesn't to me. It looks like one of the field birds you find early on in the games. So yeah, like the design, doesn't really look like a starter though. Moving on to Litten. Edgy yokai watch cat. Yeah, okay. Also, come on. Fire hairballs. Look, you could give me crap if you want, but that's just ridiculous. Popplio. Oh boy, you were just doomed from the start, weren't you? The second the starters were revealed, the majority immediately decided that Popplio was the weakest link. That upset so many people that you now see people petitioning to stop the Popplio hate. Kind of funny, actually. But yeah, I gotta agree with the majority on this one. Not a huge fan of Tom and Jerry Seal. Onto the second evolutions, we got Datrix, who is an owl with an emo over. In fact, the game literally states that he, quote-unquote, is going through a phase. Besides the teenage dude, not a horrible design. Torracat, pretty solid. Bryon, oh boy, here we go. I mean, look, I'm really sorry if somebody watching this actually likes Bryon, but Ballerina Seal. There is no redemption to be had here. Also, can I just point out that this thing only has a little more than a 1 out of 10 chance of being a female? Yeah, Miss Popstar over here, most likely a dude. On to final forms. Decidueye, not bad. Incineroar, oh jeez. Do I even need a comment? It's dumb, okay? End of story. Also, it's not even a fighting type. If you're gonna turn a cat into a WWE wrestler, at least give it a typing that makes sense. Lastly, we got Primarina. And you know, this one's not bad. But again, it has clear design influences from a mermaid. So why, may I ask, are 87% of them male?
Hey, stop being sexist. Mermaids can be guys too.
No, they can't! Otherwise, they're just called mermen. Mermaid is a portmanteau of the words mer and maid. Maid being a word that refers to the female sex.
Psylocke, nobody cares.
Then just stop! It's always something with you! So hey, I don't dislike all of these, so why did I collectively put them all in number 10? Also, geez, am I seriously still in number 10? Yeah, not all of these are bad, but my problem is that if I were to say Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Gold, Gen 3, Gen 5, what's the first thing you think of? The starters and the legendaries, right? As far as first impressions go, these guys aren't doing much for me. And despite if you absolutely love Popplio or absolutely love Rowlet or whatever, I still have yet to meet a single person that loves all 3 starters, including their evolutions. That being said, let's get this damn show on the road. I can't believe I just spent all this time on number 10. Oh man, what am I doing? Moving from the starters straight to the legendaries. I am basically asking to be crucified at this point. Straight to the point, I think Segaleo is pretty alright, but Lanal's design is kind of a mess. Again, these aren't horrible, but when it comes to legendaries, pretty alright just doesn't cut it for me. Much like the starters, the legendaries should represent the best the game has to offer, and there is just much better to see in Sun and Moon than these guys. Beyond that, the thing that really upsets me is that the legendaries in X and Y were so good. Straight up, I think Xerneas and Yveltal are the best legendaries we've had since Ho-Oh and Lugia. Needless to say, I was a bit let down by these two. And in the sake of transparency, I got like 3 other videos I should be working on right now, so let's just move on to number 8. Whoa, hey, back it up, back it up! Do we have a problem, or is your jaw just permanently stuck like that? When I first saw Young Goose's design, I thought it was pretty horrible, but evaluating it further, his design is alright. It's just the mouth that throws me off. Is the mouth alone reason enough to throw him on a list? I don't know, but he's already on here, so... Young Goose, the loitering Pokemon. Wait, what? May not be so bad when overlooking his weirdly drawn mouth, but even then, he is a bit generic. Also, he evolves in his Ultra.
We need to build a wall.
I think all of you knew this guy would be somewhere on the list. But why so low? I can't help it. After about 200 memes of this guy, he starts to grow on you. It's gotten to the point where the poor thing isn't even seen as a Pokemon anymore. He's devolved into nothing more than a meme. But what a great meme to be! And if the design wasn't enough, the thing is also a dragon type. Why? Its type alone made it a meme. Poor Charizard. You'll just have to live the rest of your life knowing that Memer McLaw's over here, out-dragging you. Can you believe this? What's the deal with Charjabug? Okay, seriously though, what's the deal with Charjabug and why? It's supposed to be a battery, which is already pretty dumb, but in terms of appearance, you got this like garbage truck thing? Yeah, sorry, I really couldn't tell you myself. Luckily for the little guy, he evolves into Vikavolt, who is way cool, might I add. A bit of a glass cannon though, so you gotta watch out when using him. And as for his first form... Is it just me, or does he look like a Pikmin enemy? You know, it's kinda like... whatever. Sorry, bud. You may have a cool evolution, but that isn't gonna change the fact that you're a f***ing rectangle. So we got Diglett, which is supposed to be like a mole, I guess? Then it evolves into Dugtrio, which as you may know, is literally just 3 Diglets super glued together. But when it comes to Game Freak, enough is never enough. So what was the next natural step that we needed? Hair, obviously. I'm not sure who at the office had the great idea of giving Dugtrio a set of surfer wigs, but a small part of me kinda loves it. But objectively speaking, yeah, it's kind of lazy. I think the best part about Alola Dugtrio, well, besides the memes, are the Pokedex entries. And no, Kermit, before you say anything, these didn't factor into the votes, I just thought they were funny. The entry in Sun says, its shining gold hair provides it with protection. Yeah, those crazy mad defense skills, all in the hair, baby. As for the Moon entry, let me just read it to you as it is. These Pokemon are cherished in the Alola region, where they are thought to be feminine deities of the land incarnate. Through the power of Poseidon, they will smite all who oppose them! Okay, I may have added that last part, but seriously, feminine deities of the land incarnate. They're just a bunch of Diglets of wigs!
I hate Mondays.
You know, turning Meowth into a sassy cat is one thing. In fact, you know what? I'll even say I like it. But what in the holy hell is this? Why is his face all swollen up? What did they do to Persian? I like Persian.
It was just a cat. Gen 1er.
Yeah, well now it's a Garfield. Don't you even act like you like this more. So that thing I said in the beginning, these entries are based on designs and designs only. Mostly because of this guy. Okay, yeah, I get it. It possesses people and it's resting on top of a pile of bones or whatever, and that's super edgy. I don't care what brooding backstory you try to give it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact it's a f***ing sandcastle. He's got a plastic shovel stuck to his face. That's like part of his design. Oh my gosh, I need to calm down. Just put a video of pandas on the screen or something, I don't care. Oh my god, look at the pandas. Oh, look at this, this is adorable. Look at this oh, just look at that. Speaking of pandas. What the f*** is this? So apparently, Pedo Bear has a cousin, and surprisingly enough, equally as creepy. But guess what? He's actually not on the list. His first form is. So besides its ball butt, it has a tag coming out of his ass. This isn't like Mimikyu where it's a haunted cheetah cloth. This is just a bear that has the misfortune of having qualities of a stuffed animal, including its name. And I'm sure I'm gonna have some people in the comments going,
Oh, but it's cute.
and fine. If that's honestly your opinion, then it is what it is. At the same time, if all it takes for you to consider something as cute is to slap a pair of glossy eyes and a smile, because I'm not sure what else it could be. That watermelon head certainly isn't doing it any favors. As far as cute Pokemon go, this has definitely got to be one of the weakest. This may seem a bit anticlimactic, but the number one worst Gen 7 Pokemon, and yours too, is BRUXISH. The colors are all over the place, they gave it human lips with lipstick for some reason, and its general demeanor is just creepy. Like, stop staring at me like that! No! I may have already had 10 shots at this party, but even I'm not that desperate. Admittedly, I don't think BRUXISH is my personal worst Gen 7, but I had to put it on number 1 because I don't think anyone likes this thing. It really is the jinx of Gen 7, a Pokemon nobody would consider as their personal number 1 worst, but looking at it just makes you feel uncomfortable. Obviously, different people are gonna like different Pokemon. While I personally dislike Pokemon like Garbodor, there are people out there who actually like this thing. I don't really understand why, but hey, I'm not gonna purposely ignore those opinions just because I disagree with them. But when Game Freak designs a Pokemon like BRUXISH, and immediately gets a response from everyone, that's when you know you done goofed. What, Kermit, what could you possibly want?
Oh, nothing. I mean, this is your list, huh? I gotta say, you didn't notice any Gen 1 Pokemon on it. You can't hide it from us, Silokh. Us real fans, we want justice. And we know you're a Gen 1er.
Why do I even try? Why? Why do I even try?
I'm out. Doesn't matter what I say, people are just gonna label me however they want. Oh, look at me, I'm SilokHawk. My life is so hard. First world problems all the time. I just got...
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Still postponing that Smash video, huh? Yeah, I got way more work to do in that thing. And for the time being, I just want to be able to get some stuff out. But hey, if you liked what you saw and would like to keep up to date with my work, you can subscribe, of course. But I'll also have links in the description to my Twitter and Facebook. As always, a huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you also want to help support the channel, and get your big fat sexy name right there, there will be a link in the description. I lowered the pledge goal to get your name on the video to 400 pennies. So if you like my stuff, but, you know, not that much, you could get your name on future videos for cheaper. Again, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.